Are you unintentionally driving top talent away with unstructured interviews? It could be sabotaging your hiring process without you even knowing it. Hello, everyone. I'm Bedford-Flood, founder of ProSource Staffing. And for over 28 years, I've helped leaders build teams that don't just show up, they stay. We partner with you to build the environment that retains your best talent. Many companies might think that unstructured interviews sound like an easy, laid-back way to get to know a candidate, where the conversation flows naturally without any strict agenda. They use this method believing it's the most casual and efficient way to assess candidates. But here's the problem. While they may seem simple, unstructured interviews can do more harm than good, and they often end up costing businesses far more than they realize. Unstructured interviews are perceived as more relaxed and organic, allowing the conversation just to flow naturally. However, one of the most significant drawbacks of this approach is the high risk of bias, something that can be far more damaging to your hiring process than you might initially realize. In structured interviews, the use of standardized questions and evaluation criteria ensures that all candidates are assessed based on the same set of factors, making the process more objective. But when the interview is left unstructured, the evaluation process becomes much more subjective, leaving a lot of room for personal biases to influence the outcome. When there are no clear, predefined criteria guiding the interview, interviewers tend to rely on their gut feelings to make judgments about candidates. These gut reactions are often shaped by personal experiences, cultural influences, or subconscious preferences. While these instincts can sometimes provide valuable insight, they can also lead to unfair and inaccurate assessment of a candidate's potential. For example, an interviewer might be impressed by a candidate who shares similar hobbies, values, or educational background. This connection, while it may feel natural, can cloud the interviewer's judgment and lead them to overlook critical aspects of the candidate's qualifications or experience. The interviewer's personal preferences may cause them to favor candidates who align with their own views, biases, or worldview, rather than selecting the person who is actually best suited for the role. Another downside is inconsistency. In unstructured interviews, different interviewers might ask different questions or prioritize different aspects of a candidate's background. This makes it impossible to fairly compare one candidate to another. How can you assess if someone is truly qualified for the job when they're evaluated based on different criteria every single time? The result? Well, it's often difficult to tell if someone is genuinely skilled or just exceptionally good at navigating a casual conversation. And what about the candidates who are shy or less articulate but have excellent technical skills? Without structure, these qualities can easily be overlooked. This can lead to hiring decisions that don't align with the company's actual needs. When there's no structure, crucial questions often get missed. Interviewers might focus on personality traits like charm, charisma, or likability, while ignoring questions that could reveal whether the candidate has the right skills for the job. For example, a structured interview would ensure that questions related to technical skills, job experience, and problem-solving ability are always asked, ensuring that every candidate is evaluated fairly and based on the job's real requirements. Unstructured interviews don't just affect the hiring team, they can also be mentally taxing for both interviewers and candidates. For interviewers, the lack of a clear process can lead to cognitive overload and fatigue. When you're not following a structured process, it's easier to lose focus, forget critical points, or misjudge a candidate's potential. For candidates, unstructured interviews are a psychological minefield. They never quite know what to expect or how to prepare, and they can quickly become stressed by the unpredictable nature of the conversation. This leads to frustration, and I've seen candidates walk out of interviews feeling uncertain, questioning what just happened. When a candidate is stressed and unsure, it becomes harder to accurately gauge their true potential. The good news is that there's a better way. Companies like Google and Amazon have overhauled their interview process to rely on structured interviews, and they've seen impressive results. Google found that structured interviews were 25% more effective at predicting a candidate's job performance than unstructured one. That's not a small difference. It's a game changer that can significantly impact a company's long-term success. Research from Harvard Business Review highlights the financial cost of poor hiring decisions, estimating that a bad hire could cost a company up to 30% of the employee's annual salary. The number might sound high, but when you consider cumulative cost, time wasted, lost productivity, training expenses, and turnover, it's easy to see why unstructured interviews are a hidden liability. Every time you conduct an unstructured interview, you're taking a risk. It's like rolling the dice on whether you'll find the right person for the job. Sure, you might get lucky and hire someone who fits, but you also open the door for poor hiring decisions. This can lead to costly turnover, wasted training resources, and a damaged employer brand. Is that a risk you're willing to take? The companies that have made the switch to structured interviews are reaping the rewards. Not only do they save time and money, but they also end up with a more qualified and diverse workforce. Structured interviews create consistency, they eliminate bias, and they ensure that every candidate is evaluated fairly and against the same set of criteria. While structured interviews may feel easy and intuitive, they're doing more harm than good. If you want to improve your recruitment outcome, creating a more structured and effective hiring process is essential. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experiences with interviews in the comments below. Have you ever had a particularly good or bad interview experience? If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to check out my other videos for more tips and strategies on optimizing your hiring process. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.